So, wish to take the opportunity to formally welcome each and every one of you. Shalom, salams, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first Jewish-Muslim dinner.
We thank you all for your support and your attendance. Just your coming is very much appreciated.
Yin and yang here. We would like to take the opportunity and personally thank David Marlowe, my counterpart, and the JCCV. It's been a real pleasure working with our counterparts, and on behalf of the Islamic Council of Victoria and the Jewish Communities Council of Victoria, we look forward to pioneering many new frontiers, to lead by example and show together we can achieve many wonderful, inspiring things.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here to this evening's dinner. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners. Today is an appropriate day to be holding this dinner, as it is Harmony Day, a day in the calendar set aside to celebrate Australia's cultural diversity. This gathering epitomises the themes of Harmony Day: inclusiveness and respect.
I actually want to talk a little bit about symbols tonight, take a few minutes to talk about symbols, and let me give you some context about why. I've had a really busy weekend. I was at a function for one of our community organisations last night. I flew to Sydney this morning for the meeting of the national executive of our national body, and then I was on plane back so I could be with you tonight, and then I'm on a plane back to Sydney tomorrow for work. And when I shared that with an acquaintance of mine, he said to me, "Why on earth are you going back to Melbourne? Why don't you just stay in Sydney? It's just a dinner. It's not that big a deal. It's just one of those symbolic things." And I said, "You're right. It is symbolic, but I wouldn't use the word just. It is symbolic, and symbols are really important things. Symbols are what we use as signposts. Symbols are what people use to guide them when they don't know what to do or how to behave. They're the hooks that we actually build our culture around. So symbols are really important. So I actually don't mind saying this is a very symbolic event. Actually, it's one of the reasons why I would have moved whatever I could to make sure I was here tonight, because it is a very symbolic event. But what's it a symbol of? It's a symbol of our renewed commitment to some really common values, and our willingness to work together around those common values, and to use those as the bridges to help us overcome those differences that we have. And
I think it's worth just acknowledging the wonderful work that the Jewish Community Council of Victoria and the Islamic Council of Victoria have undertaken to bring this fine event together. Yeah. And it's testament, and there was the discourse earlier from Mr. Krayem about the sort of difference between Victoria and New South Wales and the sort of culture. And in Victoria, as Multicultural Affairs Minister, it's something, that culture is something that I know is very precious. We talk about bipartisanship about multicultural affairs, though we have members from the Green and representative of the Greens here tonight as well. It's more than just bipartisan, it's non-partisan. But it's not just politicians who have that culture. It's community leaders. It's the AFL, it's the police, and Andrew Crisp is here. They do a fabulous job in Multicultural Victoria, the police, and it's something I certainly acknowledge. But it's much more than that. There is a culture of just seeing other people and seeing their fundamental humanity first.
We live multiculturalism every day. Every day. You look around this room, the people that it's brought together, you look at the marriages that are happening. And you look at the relationships, the memberships of organisations. We live multiculturalism every day, and we celebrated a few special times. But the reason why we're all here is because it is an amazing formula, the best in the world, and most of us who have migrated from other places have done so because we haven't lived in paradise. But this is as close as it gets. And the onus is on all of us to continue to build on the multicultural traditions, not just tolerance, but that respect, that inclusion that has made this policy such a success. And it's not just a bipartisan, it's a tripartisan or multi-party policy. We all have to support and have to make sure that multiculturalism works. That is our future.
The Minister is correct. He holds one of the most critical portfolio there is. It's a role in which there are no mistakes allowed, because you lose one whole generation. It's not like you have a bad health policy and then you say, well, gee, we lost 2,000 lives. We can try and repair that. But in this area, and we don't get it right, we're going to lose one generation, perhaps even more. And the outcome will be so obvious for us all to see. So it is not just about education, it's not about some policy that you can put out there and tomorrow hope to get it right. You don't try, you do, because there are no possible avenue for trying to reverse the mistakes we make.
I think, as was said during the night, this is very much the start of things. We probably started things a couple of years ago when Neil and I and Mo and a couple of others in the room worked on a Jewish-Muslim comedy debate. And there are other things we've got planned for during the year. Some things a bit more concrete than others in the planning process. We've got a leadership conference which we're organising for, which is an interfaith leadership conference, and Neil will be attending a planning day for that next week, as with a couple of other people that are in the room. And that's going to be aimed at young people, new and emerging communities, and communities that need a bit of help getting their stuff together. And I've had some very established communities and faith groups say that they want to be involved as well, because although they might have been here 150 years, they don't feel very together. And I think people here tonight feel very together. Thank you.